so we can share it. Look at that. All right. Hi, Jamie. We're live.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. So it's a good time to share it out. If you want to share that to your wall so that it shows up live on the wall. But yeah, it's been a great week. How's your week?
It's a good time to share. It's been good. It's been busy. I had a listing go live on Monday.
Yeah.
So if you are if you're looking to move to the Bethlehem area in Georgia, the house is really, the sellers have done a really good job at getting it ready to sell for the next buyers. Why can I not think all of a sudden? They have put in new carpet maybe that's what it is. They put new carpet in all the bedrooms. And they painted the whole house a really nice, like neutral gray color. They even painted the cabinets in the kitchen. All the appliances are staying except for the washer and dryer. They have painted the front and back decks of the house, and they had it professionally cleaned. So it's ready for some buyers. Newer HVAC system and a newer roof too. So some of the big major ticket items have been taken care of.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm doing an open house tomorrow from 12 to 3. So hopefully if you're listening, you stop by and say hi and bring.
I shared that this morning. So if you can't
Thank
find it
you.
anywhere, it's on my wall too. So yeah, absolutely.
Yay.
I said, let me find a buyer, right?
I know.
I do love the Bethlehem area. I think it's a nice area.
It is. It's close to everything, close to 316 Target. I mean, I like the area. Good. It's a really nice neighborhood. It's a big lot. So you have a big backyard, kids can play, or you can just enjoy it yourself.
Yep. It's perfect. I love it. Yep. That was fun. Oh, we're walking that today too. We're going to finish inviting the neighbors.
Yep. Yeah.
Get them all there. That'll be a good time. Yeah, it's been a fun week. I mean, we've had a lot going on. We had a birthday party we went to last night, so we had a good time there.
That was fun.
It was a little late on our Taco Tuesday, but hey, Margarita Thursday is always fun.
Yes. I think margarita every day is fun.
Right? We have a lot of fun today, you guys. We're going to have a guest speaker on today. It's our first guest speaker, so we're really super excited about it. He's going to tell us all about VA loans, and we had a lot of questions about VA loans, and he's going to be the expert. So I want to tell you now, if you're watching, remember to comment for us because this way, just like Stephanie did.
Good morning, Stephanie.
You're going to get in our drawing for a gift card. So we have a gift card we give away. We're still doing Starbucks this week, but we're going to switch it up. We're busy. So Eileen Gibbons, I think it's Luterzio, is our winner from last week. So Eileen's going to get that in the mail as soon as I get her address. But yeah, comment. That is how you get on the drawings or share it out, whatever works. Hi, Melissa. So yep, we have some people showing up and going to talk with us because it's going to be very important. Because when Mark gets on here, if you've got questions, he can answer them live. I mean, this would be the time to do it. This would be the time to do it. So good morning, Irene. Yep. So, I don't know. I have both my buyers under contract right now. So let's all keep our fingers crossed because I've been working with these two buyers for a minute, you guys. You have to be hardy. We have to be hardy. We don't give up.
No, not at all.
We're going to keep going and going and going until we get it done. Right. So, oh, hi, Jen. What is it? Jen Babble. Jen. We're going with Jen.
That sounds good.
Good morning. Well, I'm glad you guys are on. So, Jamie's got a house full of kids. Summer times are great.
Yep. They are here hanging out. Some Addison's college friend is here and for the weekend, just celebrating the 4th. I think they're going to a concert tonight somewhere at Chastain Park for something. I don't know.
No, that'll be fun. I know we're going to go to Savannah in a few weeks, so we're going to have lots to share about that. And we plan on taking pictures of all the beautiful houses, and so we'll have some things to share. Maybe we can get into an open house that's going on, right?
Oh, that would be fun.
No, right? Would it be fun?
We should do a ghost tour of a house.
We could do a ghost.
We'll look into that.
Okay.
Because I would like to. I think that would be fun.
Yep. Absolutely. So definitely got more people coming on. Hi, Brenda. Yes, happy 4th. I hope you guys have great plans. I know, my house is still for sale in Ohio. So, if you're in the Ohio area and you know somebody looking, I've gotten a few offers. Some of them, unfortunately, I'm not looking to try to go FHA with it because I don't think the inspection I already know stuff they're going to want fixed, and I don't think anybody wants to fix the stuff. So just to say, if we could go conventional, it will work better, but it's there. But there's still a lot going on for 4th of July weekend in the real estate world. Oh, somebody's bothering Jamie.
Yeah, right. Can you hear it?
No.
Can you hear it? Oh, okay, good.
Wrong face.
It's my dog.
Oh.
So she knows I'm on here, and I've already tried to put her outside like 3 times before we got online, and she wouldn't go. And now she's over. I have bells hanging on the door, and she's tapping them and looking at me. Whether I don't think she really wants to go outside. I think she just wants me to get up, walk over, open the door, and then come back.
She wants attention.
Yeah.
If you guys see Roxy, our dogs do love the attention. Mine is sleeping.
Well, that's what Roxy should be doing. Roxy, go lay down. So she will. Second.
We work from home. Okay. So when you get these, when we're on here, I'm not the editor. So they go live. They're on YouTube. You can see them on our websites. So you could catch these anytime, but they are live. It's real. This is real estate talk. Okay. So it's really what's going on. It's really what we do. We work, we do work kind of hard. We got, Kim passed her test. So
that's your friend.
Yeah. So we have a new friend who's joining real estate. Probably our market center too in Snellville, which will be nice because Keller Williams is the way to go, you guys. So I always like to give that a plug. So if you're out there and you're thinking of making this a career, I know our office is starting classes, I think July 11th. So so I'm going to be sharing that up. If it's something that you've thought about, this isn't about careers in real estate today. We'll talk about that another time. Last week. But if you are interested, that is, something that they're going to start back up again. So you could go get those classes done and come join the world of real estate. It's a good time.
It's fun. It's good.
So anything else happening that you want to talk about?
I'm trying to think. I do have an upcoming listing, another listing in the Winder area. So more details will come for that. We're just,
that's a nice one.
You saw it yesterday. It is nice. It's in a very nice.
Buy it.
What?
We should just buy it.
Yeah, we couldn't we? Together?
We should. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice? It's big enough.
It is big enough. One of us can be upstairs. Somebody can be downstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be upstairs. The kids will be downstairs.
Oh, perfect. That's even better.
That would be great. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh, and I might have some properties coming up in Lilburn. I'm working with somebody right now to see if she wants to list them all. So that's actually like a good opportunity if you're a builder or you're looking to have it'll be a little over 5 acres, I think, together. So it'll be, and Lilburn's kind of hot sought after right now. School districts are great, but yeah, so that's what we've been doing this week. And look at us staying on top of things. Who is calling you?
It's Roxy. She's like, I wish I could like move my, I don't know if I can't. Roxy.
Oh,
Roxy,
there she is.
Hey. Roxy, look. Come here.
Nope, Mom, not going. She's not going to do it.
Sorry, I just probably made everybody ill.
No, it's okay.
Moving my camera around.
Anyway. Let's see. You were my leader in another venture, but I recently became a realtor in Louisiana. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. You're not doing the other venture anymore, Jen? Come on. We do it all here. It all here.
Well, I know you do, Lisa. You do it all.
Oh, yeah, I do try. Well, let's get going with our guest because he's got a lot to talk about. We want to give him lots of time. We want to give you guys a chance to get in here and get some questions on. And we're going to let him introduce himself and bring him on. Hold on. It's going to add to our stream. There's Mark. Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me see if I can change this to make it look really cool. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Like
now
that.
everybody can see
Nope, not that one. Can't. That's just all about me. That's not happening. No, we're going to go back.
It is all about you, though.
No. We do not want it to be all about me. It's all about you. I thought that would have been much different, but that's okay.
So
I'm still learning.
I don't know who put the M&Ms backstage, but there's still blue ones in the bowl. So, our contract, we're having a little trouble with that.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. You gotta take care of the celebrities that come on your show.
The blue M&Ms. You're a red M&M today.
I am. So you're going to Savannah?
We're going to. Yeah. Well, my son's a travel nurse.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do a ghost tour. And when you take pictures, you got to do, I think it's the burst or whatever it is, so that it takes a bunch of pictures and supposedly you will see ghosts.
Really?
That's what they say. My wife and I did a ghost tour and
did it work?
We didn't see ghosts, but people claim they do.
Okay. Well, they tend to follow us around, so we're definitely going to try that.
I'm going to try. I'm for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us, Mark, tell us a little bit about our VA loans. We get a lot of questions and you are the expert. Jamie and I even attended one of his classes, learned more about VA loans than I ever knew. I mean, and because they don't teach the realtors about all the loans. We kind of learn as we go. But just so you know, some of the questions I get that you might want to touch on are like, how many states you're licensed in. So if they have questions and can use you, and how many you can have, because that comes up all the time. Most people think they can have one. And I had somebody just recently ask me if they could do a duplex or a fourplex. So those were 3 questions I know I had. I wrote them down so I didn't forget to ask. So
those are all great questions. And first, let me just say that it is Red Friday, and we wear red, signifying remembering everyone deployed, because we have been technically in wartime since 91. And so we've got military all over the world, and it just helps us remember the sacrifice that they make as well as their families. My son did his Eagle project, and I think it was for military missions, if I remember. And the things we take for granted, like showers, clean underwear, toothbrush, toothpaste, that sometimes can be difficult to come by for them. You can send those packages off, and it's a real blessing to our military. So anyway, the fact is we try and wear red to remember those that are deployed.
That's good.
As far as some of your questions, the 2 homes or multiple homes, you can. I literally just had that question the other day. A lot of people think that you can only have one VA loan at a time. That's incorrect. Vets have a basic entitlement and a additional entitlement. And if the downside is when lenders don't restore. So if they sell one home and don't restore that basic entitlement, then that entitlement is tied up. And if you don't have a lender that really knows what they're doing, they're not going to restore that entitlement. In fact, I've got a vet right now that I'm going back and forth with a VA because he sold 2 homes here in Georgia in the last few years, and neither lender restored his entitlement. So he's stuck. We're trying to get him into a home, and we've got to get those restored. So that's really important. But yes, the bottom line is they can have multiple loans on the VA loan as long as they still have entitlement left. So duplex, triplex, quadplex, up to 4. Yes. It is a great way for veterans to build wealth. As long as they live in one of the units, it becomes a primary home, and they can rent out the rest of the units. Live there for a year, go buy another 4plex, live in that one. It has to be a primary home. VA does not offer investment loans. However, if you live in it for a year and it's your primary residence, then you can go purchase another one.
So, in 1 year?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. So,
no.
What you had a third question? I don't remember.
Yep. Are you licensed in more states than Georgia? So, like, if people are watching, because this is like all over, sure. Can they still call you and can you help them?
I am currently licensed in Georgia only. I have considered expanding Alabama, Florida, mainly because I have ties. It doesn't make sense to just try and go to every state just to do it. However, with that said, I am certified by the Veterans Lending Council, and you name the state, I promise you I'll know somebody and that's a colleague and has a license as well and is in your state. So
Perfect.
I am more than happy to refer out. We don't, I know you guys get money for referrals. We don't, that's illegal, but I'm always happy to help a vet and make sure that they get taken care of by somebody who knows the VA loan very well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's something that, I mean, like, for instance, people are like, oh, they're taking too long to close. VA loans take forever to close. We hear that all the time too. They're like, we don't want to, we'll put offers out there, for our vets. Oh, it's going to take too long. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, if you actually look at the independent market data, VA loans close within 1% of conventional loans as far as timing goes. So if you do the math on that, I mean, it's like a third of a day, 1%. So it's just not factual data. Those are, that's opinion, and I have no doubt that people have experienced times where a VA loan takes long to close. I've also experienced that with conventional and FHA and other type of loan. So
sometimes it just has to do with the parties you're involved with.
Absolutely. So I'm certainly not going to negate somebody's personal experience, but from a global standpoint, the data doesn't say that.
Right. Perfect. So what's the difference, like benefits? I have had a couple questions since you were on our first one, made a couple comments, and we gave you a shout out. And then I had people messaging me and they were like, well, to get the VA loan, can they get it for a family member? I mean, if a family member, like their mom or somebody that's close to them and it's their son, can they work together? Can they help their parents or a family
Right.
member?
That's a really good question. The answer is only if the vet is going to live in that home as a primary home. Oh. If there is a veteran, non-veteran co-borrower situation, a down payment would apply in that case.
Okay.
And it gets a little bit more detailed in how much that is, and we probably won't get into the weeds on that in this meeting, but suffice it to say that yes, you can do that with a non-borrower as long as the vet lives in the home, and there would be a down payment applied to that.
Got it. So the people know, because there are probably a lot of people that are watching, what are the benefits of a VA loan? Like, what do they get? Because it's a nice perk for them. I love it.
It is. It's a wonderful, wonderful product. First off, they get better rates. Their rates are better than conventional FHA and any other loan I've ever seen. They don't have a down payment, not required. There is a funding fee that helps to back those loans. First time user, it's 2.3% of the loan. And for secondary and beyond that, it's 3.6%. That said, if they have at least a 10% disability rating, that funding fee is waived.
Oh.
So,
and how do you get a 10% disability?
Honestly, it's not that hard. Because if you think about it, there's so many different factors it could be. I mean, if the vet has jumped out of planes, likely they have back problems. If they were at a shooting range a lot, likely they have hearing issues or tinnitus. If they were in stressful situations, they could have anxiety, PTSD. There's a myriad of issues that qualify as disabled. It's not just they lost a leg.
Right.
And this is really important because here's part of the problem with this. A lot of vets kind of have that, I don't want to take away from those who really need the disability, somebody who lost an arm or a leg or whatever the case may be. They feel like they're taking away from them. But in reality, they're actually part of the problem because Congress sets the budget. And so the more that actually make the claim, then the bigger the budget can become and help more vets that really have an issue. We're certainly not implying that vets should fabricate anything, but if you have an issue, go get it checked out and taken care of. And while I am not an expert in that, I certainly know those that are. And frankly, it's not that hard to get a 10% disability rating.
Right.
I've got a vet right now moving from California to Georgia. He filed a claim, and within weeks, a check showed up in his door. Now, I'll be honest, that's the exception.
Yeah.
It doesn't typically happen that fast. So you want to do it. If you have this issue, go do it now. Get it handled. If you need help, let me know. I'll point you in the right direction. So yeah, it is a great benefit. What other benefits? I mean, they can get an investment property. I mean, technically, again, it can't be an investment loan, but they can buy a duplex, triplex, fourplex.
Right.
It can build wealth.
And then what do they go off of as far as how much they can do? Because everybody's benefits are different. Some of them work. How do they get approved for that? Like to be how much they're approved for?
Yeah, as far as dollar amount and what they can purchase, it's really going to fall back on what they can qualify financially with the lender. So the lender's really going to set that, because if they have both their entitlements, there is no loan limit.
Oh.
So if they can qualify for a $3 million home and the lender will lend it, they can get a $3 million home.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there's no holdbacks. There's no down payment money. And they don't pay their closing costs either, right?
No, they do have closing costs.
They just don't have to put the down payment down.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to defer to you experts to get them some concessions from the sellers for their closing costs. But yeah, they are required to pay closing costs. However, fees cannot exceed 1%. And this is a really important distinction as well, because a lot of your big box lenders charge a 1% origination fee. Mm-hmm. That wipes out their entire 1%. Now who's paying all the fees and closing costs? So there's a lot of issues with that in the industry. And the one thing I'll say is, I'm not going to name names, but friends don't let friends use big box lenders.
Right.
Use somebody who knows the loan and has a personal connection to the vet. Otherwise, you're dealing with headset jockeys that, you don't know who you're getting from one day to the next.
We have to agree with that across the board. And even if you're doing any kind of a loan,
Agreed.
We have so many brokers, lenders they're private lenders, they're going to work harder for you on that closing than anybody on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
So we're all about it.
Absolutely. Well, do we have any questions coming in?
Not yet. I know Cynthia's on today, and she's the one, her son is, looking into doing that. And she had those questions about like if she were to get the house, or if he could help her get the house. So I don't know if she caught that or not, Cynthia, but if you didn't, he answered that question for us. So yes, but he has to live with you. So if you guys are doing that together, now, do they have to live with you forever, or can they live like the investment properties for a year and then get another house somewhere else? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, yes, technically they can. Also, VA loans are assumable by veterans or non-veterans. Again, there can arise some complications and you need to work through all those, but yes, nice. they can move on.
That's great.
As far as the, lenders, we like to say, and I think you guys probably use the term on your side of the industry too, is it matters who you work with.
Yeah.
And I just closed on a loan, sweet young couple, and I got a message on a weekend from a realtor I'd never spoken with. Had probably seen her name on Facebook, but that's about the extent of it. And she said, "Hey, I've got these borrowers who need to buy a home, and he's a vet. Can you help us out? Can you talk to him?"
Right.
I said, sure. So we did. We went through the process, and there are quite a few things we had to overcome. Just part of the normal process. As you guys know, there's always issues in loans and purchasing property. But after closing, they said, we were working with this other guy, and everything we brought up, he found reasons why we shouldn't do the VA loan and why it's not going to work. And it just wasn't that difficult. I mean, it's all about knowledge. It's not a difficult loan. It's just a matter of the fact that most lenders don't do that many of them. I mean,
Right.
you don't want your heart surgeon that's done like, one heart surgery in its life, right?
It's my first day.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, wait, let's call one up. Let's call one up on the phone. Just do
right.
it
I mean,
remotely.
I normally do surgery on eyes, but once or twice a year I do a heart surgery. But come lay down on the table. It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
So you really should vet your lenders for the VA loan, because it does matter. Because if it's a really easy, smooth transaction, yes, anybody can do it. But how often does that really happen?
Right. Well, in real estate, we found out that there's things happen all the time. Every day.
Right.
Like, here we go. And then it's
right.
like, oh, there we go.
Right. It's like 9:30 at night. I get a call from a borrower, and she's sobbing on the phone because the deal on her house fell through. So now she can't buy the new house. And it's like, hold on. I'll tell you when to panic. And it's not now, and 48 hours, she's calling me at 9:30 at night again saying, somebody came in with a cash offer and they offered $30,000 more than the previous person. It's just part of the process, and you know it because you deal with it just in a different way than I do.
Yeah. But it's like we tell them all the time. That's why we like having these. We're like committed to this weekly because there is so much that goes on, and we're learning that people will so easily just pick up the phone and call like I like how you called them. Would you call them like headphone jockeys? Or they'll do the same thing with their house. They'll be like, oh, I want to sell my house. And they get on and they're like, oh, this is an advertisement I seen for this company. And I think to myself, oh my gosh, don't you want somebody who's going to help you? I mean, Jamie just had that with a client. She was like, oh my God, it's so nice that, we go in and do stuff. I mean, we can paint for you. We can help make sure, you have nice things for your pictures. Other people aren't going to care that much about your home. You should care a little bit more about who you work with.
I do have a question real quick about, can you use ribbon?
Yes. I have not had that experience yet, but the answer is yes.
Okay. And what's ribbon?
Ribbon is a cash offer for your clients, but then they have to quickly switch it over into their loan. But I didn't know if a VA loan would.
Yeah, the VA kind of takes a stand of that's really none of our business, and as long as it doesn't violate any of the guidelines of the VA, then no problem.
And the fee that they charge isn't a problem?
That really needs to be done outside of the closing transaction. So that's why I say they just want out of it. The VA doesn't really want to be part of that. They just, if the veteran wants to sign his name to that or her name to that, and then do that outside of the closing transaction, then fine. Is my understanding.
They still need to contact you before purchasing the home, and be like, hey, I'm going to buy this home, but I'm going to use ribbon, because, you have a lot of little things that they have to do to close to, get the loan. So how do we make sure that you'll still close on the new home?
Yeah. You know what? To be honest, that's a really good question. I have never worked with ribbon. I had one person approach, and then they decided not to use them. So I don't know those answers yet. I know some people.
Find out.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard pluses and minuses about these ribbons and the other cash offer companies. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I've just kind of listened and observed and read comments by other people, and I've seen where people have absolutely loved it, and then I've seen where people have had kind of nightmare experiences. So I don't know enough about it from the VA perspective.
Right.
But now you've given me some homework, so I appreciate that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you have to look into it for us. I mean, because one of the things is I know I started not a VA, but a ribbon on one of my clients, and we started because we just trying to be more competitive. If anybody's watching this, they're like, what is Ribbon? There's a few of them out there. Ribbon's just the, the name of this particular company. There are a lot of them, but they actually will buy the house cash for you. And then you can just buy it, close it at the closing table with your loan, which is whatever loan you have, or you can, if you have at least 180 days to then close on that loan, and they will lease it back. So there's a few things that you always look at with it. And one of them would be, is the house in a HOA that doesn't let you lease. They can't be your cash offer if they do, because if something happened at the closing table, they're leasing it back to you, and that's not allowed. So there's like things to look into with those type of programs, but they do offer to be more competitive, which, by the way, we are, like you said, we're negotiating closing costs right now. We're actually negotiating things on offers. So there's a switch happening in the market, still a seller's market because we're still very low in inventory, but it's definitely starting to be a little different. Interest rates have definitely helped with that because, not everybody can get what they could get before, and they're going to keep going. And Jamie, what did we hear? What was that? You had shared that yesterday. You said it was, don't marry your...
Oh, actually, Vance posted it. Yeah, it's on here. You
marry the home, date the rate.
Yes. I was like, oh, that is genius.
Yep. So don't wait. Mark can help you with probably any loan as well as VA. So, I mean, and those rates are always going to be changing, and you're not marrying it, right? You can always change.
Right. Yes.
Well, yeah. And you got to you have to look at a global picture. Buying a home and getting a mortgage is so much more than just a rate.
Yep.
And if you look at, if you've held off on buying a home over a rate, great. You saved yourself a few hundred, maybe several $1,000s in interest by, if you would have had a lower rate, but you lost tens of thousands of dollars in equity. So again, it's a bigger picture than just what's the rate. There's so much more to it than that. And it's an investment. And so you're building wealth. Yep. So if you can afford the payment, I mean, I'm certainly not suggesting you try and get into something just because. I mean, you need to be able to afford your home payment. But if you do, the equity you gain far outweighs the little bit of increase in interest rate right now.
Absolutely.
And ironically, let's face it, the interest rates really aren't that high.
No.
Historically speaking, the average is about 7.8.
Yeah.
So,
we're not even there yet.
No.
I remember those rates.
I hope we don't get there. I don't want to go there.
I don't think we will. I mean, at least not the experts I read think we will. So it's, but it's fluid. Nobody knows the future. It's going to be an interesting ride for a few years.
And here we are. We got front seats to it. That's what
the one thing we do know that there's only been 3 years where home equity has actually decreased as opposed to increase, and that was 2006, 7, and 8. And there are so many things in place. In fact, I just got notification that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac are actually tightening things up and making it harder to get loans right now.
Wow.
So they are very conscious they don't want to go back to 2006, 7, 8 because that was a nightmare for them.
Right.
So,
and many people don't even remember that, because we're dealing with a generation of people that do not know what happened in those times. So they're all like, we just want the market we're just going to wait for it to crash like it did. And we're like, yeah, that's exactly why it's not going to, because they're very consciously aware. Like Cynthia said, you do not want to set yourself up to fail. You're not going to get into a house that you can't pay for. And then, nobody wins with that. So.
Well, that's all media sensationalism.
Yeah, the media. Yep. Well, you know what? I think it always runs back to those that we tell people all the time when we're out there talking to them, and they're like, "Oh no, this is what we heard." And I always like, "So where did we hear it?"
Yeah.
Where did we hear that at? Where was that you heard? And I love when they're like Google, or they're like, "Oh, the news." I'm like, "Oh," I said, "Nope."
Well, the Google knows everything, so my question is always, what stats did you pull this from? Where's the stats? Who's the marketing data that you arrived at this conclusion? So, I hear things like, oh, well, my buddy's an investor and he thinks, I'm like, what? He took a course for 6 weeks and, got an investing license, and that now all of a sudden he knows what the housing market's going to do.
Oh yeah.
So,
yep.
I
took a 30-minute course on YouTube. Somebody was just giving a class.
Right.
I'm an expert. I'm going to change my toilet out now.
Which brings me back to another point of I never use the term expert, because even with VA loans, because when you say you're an expert, everybody expects you to know everything.
Right.
And I'll be honest, the VA changes things all the time. So I can't know everything. I have to go back and research stuff all the time to make sure something hasn't changed. They haven't, I get the circulars, something changed just 8 days ago.
Yeah.
There is.
Cynthia's going to be calling you today, Mark.
All right, Cynthia. But yeah, I mean, within the last, I think it's 2 or 3 weeks, the VA put out 2 new circulars stating or updating new things. And one was simply just a lot of people think, or a lot of agents think, that vets can't pay the pest control, or the pest inspection. And it simply just was false. It was false data. It was a rumor. And the VA finally came out and said, no, they can, as long as they don't go over the 1% of fees.
Right.
If it's within the 1%, anybody can pay it. The vet can pay it. We can pay it. I can pay it. What?
1% of the value of the home?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's where they're figuring that out.
Well, purchase price. Yeah.
Right. So if you're buying the house for $300,000, you have $3,000 worth of fees you can pay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, and that doesn't include things like your escrows and prepayment of interest and things like that. That's literal fees, like examination fee for title from the attorney, and appraisal fee, things like that, pest inspection fee.
Right.
So it's not that hard to stay in the 1%. It gets a little bit harder on a really small purchase,
right.
150,000, because then you have less to work with. But
right.
It's doable if you manage it right. So
right.
Yeah, it's but yeah, so they came out and clarified that yes, they can pay it. And
nice.
And let's face it, sometimes people are trying to create drama for some reason. I'm not sure why, but if you think about it, a pest inspection fee is $100 to $150. Mm-hmm. Are we seriously not going to take someone's offer over $100 bill?
Right.
I mean, raise the stinking price of the house by $100. Come to me, I'll pay it. You'll pay it. We'll split it for $50.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, are we going to not let a vet get into a home over $100?
Right.
I mean, sometimes it's astounding, the things that go on in the industry. So anyway, I know that's a hot button for some people, and it just boggles my mind.
It is. Well, you know what? We deal with it wedaily. I mean, it's amazing. We split hairs all the time, and it's just fine. Just fine. That's what we do. We figure it out. And because there's always a solution. There's always a solution. And I think if everybody just asks the right questions and lets us just figure it out, and we don't always have the answers. I mean, like you said, we learn every day too. There's stuff every day. Every transaction. One of the things we learned early, like when I first started, was every one of them is different. Every single, it's like a snowflake. There's not no same snowflake, and there is no same house transaction. There's never been like, you can't mirror any of them. So
no, yeah, you're right.
It's good stuff.
And I think you brought up a key point there, was ask the right questions, because oftentimes when I work with an agent, and this can go both ways. I mean, the lender needs to ask the right questions too. And sometimes I'll have an agent come to me and go, well, how fast can you close? I'm like, well, how fast do we need to close? Are we just trying to do this just to throw things at the wall and hope it improves your offer? Or is that really a hot button for the seller? And when I ask that question, they usually come back and go, oh, they're fine with 30 days. So let's find out what's going to be the hot button for each person and each seller, and because really, that's what's best for our client.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So,
and that's what we're all working for.
Right. It's a team effort. It really is. And that goes for the seller's agent, the buyer's agent, and myself.
Yep.
So,
And you too. I mean, as a client. So if you're out there and you're in the transaction right now, you're thinking of buying or selling a house or, investment property or whatever the case may be, you have to realize you communicating with us is just as important. So, we don't want to get into, and we try to ask those questions up front, best lines of communication. Do you like email? When can we contact you? Do you like to answer the phone? Are you a texter? How are we going to get things done? Because the sooner we can find out, because we don't want you disappointed, like, oh my God, I didn't expect you to do it that way. I thought it was going to be like, I watched a show on HGTV yesterday and that's not what happened at all. I mean, like, so people you get it in your head, like it's supposed to be a certain way. Just like you got to let us know. You got to let us know so we know too, because, we're dealing with, we'd like to always say that one client at a time, but there's usually multiple clients on the table for all of us. So, I mean, we're trying to remember, we're supposed to remember that bathroom in that house we looked at last weekend, and we've already looked at 40 more houses after that with other clients. Like, we're probably not going to remember the bathroom. This is why we give you papers and take notes. You have to remember things and you can bring it up. So communication is so important in this, in everything, but especially when you're dealing with a huge purchase like a house, right? I mean, you want to communicate it out,
absolutely.
So this has been great, Mark. We loved having you on here. You're full of great information. You guys can comment on this all week long or whenever, and we will get back to answering those questions for you. Mark will share if you want to share your phone number, if they want to call you. You can say it now, and then we can put it in the chat later, and then it's on there so you guys can reference it. But yep, I mean, I got all my questions answered for my clients, so I hope you guys are paying attention.
Jamie, anything from you? You good?
Nope, I'm good. Lisa's questions were my questions too. So
okay, well, excellent. Yeah, my number's 678-862-2918. And you can also follow my personal page. I put out a lot of content regarding VA loans, and my personal page stays. Everything is upbeat, uplifting, and a fair amount related to VA loans.
It's a good time.
As well as I'm working with the Legion in Loganville right now to put together some classes for veterans themselves, so they can understand their benefits. It should be known that at least 34%, and I've heard anywhere from 34 to 74%, which is really broad, but I'll stick with the most conservative. 34% of veterans do not use the VA loan.
No, I don't think they do.
That is a travesty. It should be 2%. There's always the exception, but it should be 2%. So we need to get the word out and help our vets get into homes, and that's primarily our that's our focus. It's getting the vets into homes because one, we feel that they've earned it. Number two, we feel that vets that are in a home are often more stable. And as you know, we all know the number 22 veterans commit suicide a day. The more stable they are, the less that happens.
Exactly.
So let's definitely go ahead.
So can a widow use the VA loan?
Really great question. This gets a little bit convoluted, but I will go through it quickly. If the veteran passed due to their service, so for instance, either killed in action, or as an example, a Vietnam vet who died of cancer from Agent Orange, and you can tie it back to that, and the doctors prove that, then the widow would in that time get the benefit. Now, if they remarry, they lose the benefit. However, oddly enough, and I don't know why, they get it back at 57.
Oh, okay.
So random,
ARP.
that's the rule, at least as of now. So so yes, in the right circumstances, if they're receiving income from the VA as a result of death of their spouse, it's almost assured they'll get a VA loan.
Nice. Well, that's kind of a good perk. Good question.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I know. That's, a good one.
That's going deep there.
Look at you. So Cynthia wants your personal page information. So we'll put that in the comments so awesome. You can see that, cool. Cynthia. So we'll make sure that you can quick link to the page because he does have a lot of great stuff on there. So great way. All of our pages are really good. You should follow all of us on our pages.
You should. You should. I love your pages. I mean,
keep it going.
I can never eat enough tacos to keep up with you guys.
Oh, I know. Well,
no.
So
no one can.
We eat tacos and drink margaritas. That's what we do all day. That's all we do. It's like,
now every time I see a taco meme, who do I think of?
Jamie.
Yeah. Who gets a message, Jamie?
Me. I love them though. They're good.
Yep.
You send me some pretty funny ones.
Yeah. I try to find the ones that are off the beaten path.
They are, and they're good too. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I'm going to be posting that soon.
Save them in the bank. That's what social media is for. You should be having a good time.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I always like to say less arguing, more dancing.
There we go.
Yep. Cynthia says
tacos too.
Me too. I love tacos. Yep.
We have a taco social soon.
You should.
I was just going to say that. Maybe we have all get together and we can make tacos.
That would be fun.
That would be a good time. Yep. So, but this has been awesome. We're not going to keep it much longer. We've been on here for almost a whole 45 minutes. Wow. This is like one of our longest ones. Yay.
Yes, it is.
But this has been great information. And, like if you guys are out there and you have other stuff that you have questions about or people or things about real estate, and we can bring them on because I think we're going to try to have an inspector come on pretty soon and an appraiser, because I think those are two very interesting things to hear about. And a lot of people have questions around them. So we're going to work on that next. But we appreciate you, Mark. Thank you for joining us. And again, if you guys want to get a hold of Mark, he'll be in the comments, and we're going to put his page for you to follow as well, because that's what we're here. We're here to help. So be sure to know that we will have another gift card next week. So if you've commented on this and it's a replay, just do #replay so that we know that you're watching it afterwards, so that you can be in that in the drawing for next week. And thank you so much for joining with us again this week. And you guys have a fabulous weekend. Be safe for the 4th of July. Be safe for the 4th of July, right? Yes. That's so important because everyone's going to have a good time, but just be safe. And thanks for supporting us. We love this.
Yes, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.